It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Oh, and welcome in, everybody. How'd they nip me like that? Welcome in, everybody, to a Tipsy Tuesday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, the Captain Cool.
Oh my goodness, it's
Captain Cool. Someone lose a grenade? Oh, yeah. You can find that grenade online at theblitzsportsradio.com, and that grenade being all of the best sports content in the Tennessee Valley area, as well as just all of this world, I would say, with the Blitz Sports Radio all together. We don't just stream here in Alabama, okay? We are based out of Alabama, but we go to everybody, and that's why we talk a wide range of sports, ranging from, we talk Utah Jazz, we can talk Kansas State basketball, we can talk Cleveland Browns football. It's just a whole bunch of different stuff we can get into, and I'm glad you guys can join us today because we got a lot of that type of stuff to get into today. And while you're at it, finding us online, you can find us on Facebook at The Blitz Sports Radio, on Twitter at TheBlitz_Sports, and on Twitch and YouTube at WZZN-TV for more than just sports talk. And if you want to get in on any of the conversations today, you can call us at 256-576-4977. We can talk about hockey, we can talk about baseball, we can talk about football, anything under the sun that you guys want to talk about, because, oh yeah, we also talk about gaming. And we know we got a couple of gamers out there that want to kind of talk about their love for video games and what games they're playing right now. I know I'm playing a few. Bandy's playing a few. I'm mostly just watching a lot of anime, though. But that's, that could be a part of it, too, if you want to bring that in, because me and Bandy will not stop that conversation. This first hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having roofing problems, guys, check them out online. You can fill out your free quote today and tell them that we sent you. And you know what? They'll show up at your house when you need them, because Fleming always shows up, and they'll make you show up as well in your neighborhood. You're live hanging with the chillest crew of two in sports radio in the booth, keeping us on the airways, running all the tracks, the flax, and whatnot. The one, the only, Bandi Man Bailey Lowry.
How's it going, Captain Cool?
Don't. It's a Tuesday, Bandy, and I'm very excited to get into all the conversations we got going down. But I want to ask you, Bandy, how was your Monday yesterday?
How was my Monday?
Yeah, how was your Monday? It was very chill. I feel like it was relaxed, from that weekend of crazy basketball. We got XFL football, it's all that stuff. Now we get to kind of relax. What did you do yesterday on a Monday?
I mean, for one, I was looking over every kind of possibility in my bracket to see if there's any kind of way I could come out on top in the bracket challenge, but
come on.
Doesn't really seem like it.
No, you can't be thinking like that, Bandy. I mean, I'm still thinking there's possibly a possibility that I might possibly win. Possibly. I don't really think so, but I mean, still, at the end of the day, you got to think towards the good things, okay?
Well, I mean, what I'm kind of looking forward to now is an Alabama national championship. That Alabama goes all the way and wins the tournament. At least if I don't win the 97.7 ESPN Zone Bracket Challenge presented by One Talent Heating and Air,
yeah, then
I can at least have the high spirits of an Alabama national championship.
I understand, and we could have just followed the advice that Joe Hunk gave us from 104.5 The Zone over in Nashville. He straight up just told us, I'm enjoying it. I'm just going to enjoy it. After the first day, and he said he had a bracket, but, I mean, he didn't want to tell us anything because I guess he lost, 1,000 games on the first day. But, I mean, we're just going to enjoy it at this part. I mean, you can't let the bracket overshadow, the enjoyment of March Madness. At the end of the day, nobody's going to have a great bracket. I mean, there's no perfect brackets, okay?
Yeah.
It's just about, enjoying yourself and having a wonderful time. And I'm still going to be looking at this bracket to see if there's some way I could slither back into the top 100, but, at the end of the day, we just got to look forward to what Alabama's going to do and, what the rest of the teams are going to do. Because, I mean, Houston, Miami, Creighton, Princeton, I mean, all of these teams actually have a pretty open chance. I mean, with what's been going down with all these games, we've seen teams like, Fairleigh Dickinson going up against Purdue and getting the dub there. I mean, Princeton might go all the way. They might have, the IQ of something that we've never heard of before. They might go all the way. You can't give me that face, Bandy, after they beat both Arizona and Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
They're a part of this
And
now.
You never know. The odds are not in their favor. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's tough. It's like David versus Goliath right there. They got the rest of this whole squad that they have to go up against would be Goliath. I mean, they got to get past Creighton.
I mean, got to get past Alabama.
They got to get past Alabama. And then if they get past that point, which, it's rough.
If we're in the universe, if we're in the weird timeline where Princeton somehow makes it to the Final Four and upsets Alabama, then at that point I'm going for Princeton. Then Princeton's going to win the entire thing.
I feel like they'd have to if they beat Alabama and the rest of the squads that they've been beaten. I mean, Missouri's a good team, Arizona's a good team, and then they're just going to go on. It's one thing to definitely look like. But if this is the reality where Princeton does win it, I will say I'll be a little upset that Alabama didn't go all the way because they kind of have an open shot right now. But I won't be sad because this will be the biggest story in sports for the next, 5 years, okay?
Yeah, we'll be on the receiving end of it.
I don't care. Everybody's going to be on the receiving end of it. Everybody lost to Princeton, and Princeton goes on and wins it all.
No. It won't be to that scale. Come on. Alabama national championship, one of the national championship favorites. One of the national championship favorites, along with Houston. We got the whole story going on with Brandon Miller. Now what's come out about the Alabama football player and
what Nick Saban had to say about it all.
Yep, what Saban had to say about it all, which we'll get to later in the show.
We will.
Number 1 team in the country, losing to an Ivy League school.
Could you really?
We would never hear the end of it forever.
I don't know about that, okay?
For the entire year, that would still be on the front page.
I don't know. I mean, for maybe the year, but it's like I don't know if anybody would say that, Alabama really dropped the ball on that. Princeton, again, Arizona would be on the receiving end of it. They were a number 2 seed losing to this team, first off, right off the bat. And then you look over Purdue, losing to a team that really, would probably shouldn't have beat them in the first place, had a 101 chance of winning that game, and they didn't win it. I mean, it's the stuff like this where it's like March Madness is supposed to be crazy. Everybody's gonna hear a little bit of flack, but nobody really gets the full front of it because there's 60-something teams in this bracket challenge.
Yeah, but we've already seen we already kind of had our doubts about Arizona even going into the tournament.
I thought Arizona was gonna go pretty far, Bandi.
I mean, I thought they were too. I thought the doubters were wrong. I thought they were going to prove the doubters wrong and actually step up for March Madness, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
They lost to Princeton again. Sorry, I think felt a vibration come across my phone, but never mind.
Don't get distracted.
But again, you get Arizona. It's not on the same scale.
I know. You just don't want to
here's
imagine
the thing,
it.
Would it be worse than the kick 6? Would the kind of heat we would get from every fan base around the country?
The kick 6 was a terrible time. I was there. All right.
You're actually at the game.
I was there. Okay. It was a miserable time. All right. And that still haunts us to this day.
I was at my Auburn friend's house.
That was against Auburn, a big rival that should not have won that game, but it was a really good game. It ended in a way that, nobody would have thought would happen, okay? Nobody would have thought that Nick Saban would have just left that detail open for them to even have a possibility to do that kick 6, okay?
Yeah.
This, on the other hand, is Alabama a basketball school or are they a football school? Are we going to do this conversation where it's like Kentucky? Oh, they're a football school now.
I mean, we can't have this conversation with Bama. They're a football school through and through until Nick Saban is out of there or dead.
Yeah. Nate Oates, I mean, you might
honestly,
be able to...
probably at the same time.
Nate Oates, if you can win a championship, if you can win this national championship, hey, we'll consider saying that it's a football school first, basketball school, with a slash right next to the football school. So you could be both, okay? You know what? Alabama can have the best of both worlds. We're going to cover a little bit more of that.
They're also good at baseball.
And then they're also pretty good at baseball.
And gymnastics.
We'll figure that all out. I don't know about the gymnastics part. We're not going to delve into that.
Softball, I heard they're pretty good as well.
Softball is good, all right? Bama, you're just good at a lot of things, okay? Keep it up.
Wheelchair basketball.
Yeah? Good.
Yeah, they just won the national championship.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow. At least we could say that we won, some sort of, basketball. Good job, Alabama. Either way. Okay.
For now.
We're done with that conversation. I'm not even going to ask you a question because you turned the beginning of the show into a little deep dive into what's going on in March Madness. And I told myself I wasn't going to talk too much about March Madness because I've been talking nonstop about it. Thank you, Bandi.
Come on.
What?
It's what's going. It
is what's going down.
It's the in thing right now.
We finally have time to breathe because we don't have March Madness for the next few days. Let's just take a little. Let's put it on the back seat. All right. We'll get into it a little later, Bandi. Because today is March 21st, 2023, and here's what you need to know in the Blitz today. March Madness. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to get back into March Madness. The Houston Texans have made a lot of big moves yesterday to pick up some much-needed help going into the 2023 season. 2 players have joined the roster yesterday on the offensive side of the ball in running back Devin Singletary and tight end Dalton Schultz. Both players agreed to a 1-year contract, $9 million for Schultz and $3.75 million for Singletary. Schultz has had, he's been, he's a tough tight end, and he's had success with the Cowboys in the last 5 years, but now he's going to be coming to this Texans team who needs him more than ever because the Texans are losing tight ends. They're trying to pick up guys like O.J. Howard. That doesn't work out. But now they have a really good tight end in Dalton Schultz who is going to join this squad and really fill in that position that they needed really desperately, okay? And then Singletary's performance will be the question, okay? This will be the biggest question because whenever he was at Buffalo, at most he was a decent running back, okay? Him and Moss were both kind of like decent running backs that could kind of go off of each other, okay? Singletary I always thought was a little bit better, but he still couldn't get the job done in the trenches. And now he's going to this Texans team where he's going to be helping out with Dameon Pierce, which, I mean, this is the best thing for him. I feel like Singletary is definitely one of those, complementary, running backs that'll help out with another guy, and they'll be able to maybe, push to around the 2,000 yards altogether mark combined. But on their own, I feel like both of these running backs are going to be, a little lackluster. So I think this is a good pickup. I think Schultz is a good pickup. I think the Texans are going to be making a solid push for the playoffs, but we'll have to see if they can even get to that point because they need to get a quarterback and one Mr. Bryce Young before they could even think about the playoffs. Playoffs? We're just trying to win a game.
Playoffs.
Don't talk about the playoffs. Either way, if they do reach the playoffs this year, it'd be the first time they did that since 2019 with one Mr. Deshaun Watson because that was their only hope back then. But now the Browns got him. It's the Browns' turn. And then going over to a quarterback in the NFL or, in the free agent world. Cam Newton's football career isn't over just yet, boys. Yes, the former MVP quarterback is trying to make a case for himself on why he needs to get on a team going into 2023, saying, "Tell me how these randoms keep getting jobs." Cam Newton, you still think you're the main character, man. You still think you're the main character.
He's like, what? He thinks he's better than, 32 other quarterbacks?
Yeah, we get it.
Or 32 other what? We can't say it on there.
He goes on to say, "I'm going to show you. I can't wait to show you. Ain't 32 quarterbacks." We're just going to say quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks.
He put some emphasis on what he said, though. We're going to say quarterbacks better than me, okay? Ain't 32 quarterbacks better than me. Cam Newton is 33 years old now, okay? The last time we saw him on a football team, I believe it was with the Panthers because he was on the Panthers in this first part of his career. He did decently. He made a little trend in the Super Cam or whatever, and then he went to the Super Bowl, got absolutely obliterated by one Mr. Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, and then after that point, he just could not find the footing, okay? And then he went to the Patriots, tried to help out there. Mac Jones beat him out, and now he went back to the Panthers, and then, you know what the Panthers are doing. They don't know what they're doing from the freaking quarterback position, so even they might be in one of the, the few teams that might want Cam Newton back, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But still, Cam, he's going to be showing out some of his skills at Auburn's Pro Day going on as we speak. We'll get to figure out which teams may want to get a handle on Mr. Cam Newton if he does end up making a comeback into the NFL. Do you guys think that Cam Newton has a chance to come back to the NFL at 33 years old? Do you think he's better than some of these other guys in the NFL? Well, most of them are backups. I think he's better than the backups. I don't think he's better than any of the starters. Okay, but we haven't seen him in a few years, so 256-576-4977 if you want to jump on that conversation. And then also, Bandy, we learned some news. A little bit of inside news, actually, on what the Packers are kind of wanting for one Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Okay, this is some really in-depth news that's coming out of Uncovered NFL. Okay, we have seen it, and I don't know if it's fair, but I'm going to tell you guys now, and then we'll get to kind of dissect it a little bit more later. Okay. But the Packers are reportedly asking for a first and fourth round pick in the 2023 draft.
Okay.
A third round pick in the 2024 draft, and tight end Tyler Conklin. Does this seem fair? Bandy, do you think it's fair for a guy like Aaron Rodgers at his age, with his mentality? Do you think he's able to help a team out enough to where you give 3 draft picks? Pretty, good draft picks, as well as a pretty good tight end.
On paper, I mean, you're looking at Aaron Rodgers, a future Hall of Fame quarterback.
Of course.
But, future Hall of Fame quarterback, that's what you call the younger ones. I mean, a quarterback that's going to eventually, he'll be a Hall of Fame.
We'll just say,
you know what I mean.
You just put Hall of Fame quarterback.
On paper, it looks good.
Okay.
I feel like you're giving up too many pieces for a 39-year-old quarterback who, even with all the tools that the New York Jets can provide him, might not even make the championship.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a little
I'm
bit
talking about
baggage.
the conference championship. I ain't talking Super Bowl.
Yeah. You want to bring in, a good quarterback, but at the same time, I mean, Aaron Rodgers got a lot of that baggage too. Okay?
That is true.
He's going to be bringing in the drama that he's got, okay? If he's not happy with the team that you give him, then he's not going to perform like an Aaron Rodgers that wins those MVPs.
I guarantee you all those appearances on the Pat McAfee show have not gone unnoticed.
No. But it's okay. The Jets already rejected that offer.
Yep. They already rejected it.
They are believing that they have all of the leverage in this trade.
That is true.
So now we want to figure out how long this is going to take and what is going to actually be traded for Aaron Rodgers to become a New York Jet and play the rest of his football in New Jersey.
That's what the Packers were asking for, right?
Yeah.
In return?
That was what the Packers were asking for.
Yeah,
and
too much.
The Jets, they've rejected and said that we got the leverage here, okay? This guy literally wants to be here, okay?
Are you serious?
Appease him. I know he's just like, this is Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to give us your whole team and some? No.
He's 39 years old.
He's getting up there. It's like, we'll throw in a bag of tea.
He just came back from the realm of darkness.
The shadow realm. Jeez. We'll talk more about that later. But, Bandy, what do you got coming on the show during the play-by-play at 3:30?
So we have Microsoft. Well, for one, that we actually responded to PlayStation's accusations of sabotaging Call of Duty on Xbox, saying we're actually going to be like, the whole theory going around is that they're going to add in specific things into the PlayStation version that'll make it not run as well on Xbox as like the Xbox and PC versions.
Huh.
They responded to those formally. We got a new trailer for the Crash Bandicoot multiplayer game coming out, so I'm going to be talking about it, called Crash Team Rumble.
Okay.
And it gets a June release date.
Nice.
And we actually have new content coming out for Modern Warfare 2. It's a new licensed character, a new licensed operator coming out to tell you who it is during the play-by-play, as well as there are certain DICE games that will be officially delisted in April, including certain Battlefield titles and Mirror's Edge.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. But you know what's not unfortunate?
What's that?
Bills. We got to pay them. We're going to hop into a break, guys. When we come back, we're going to get into the cool stuff of the show here on the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
fill up with Eagle Insulation. We'll come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seat, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop in the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The Blitz has been called.
Welcome back, everybody, into Tipsy Tuesday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandi Man, Bailey Lauer.
Yep.
And honestly, I shouldn't have taken off my jacket because it's about to cool down a lot in here. But we got to tell you, before we do any of that stuff, that this hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you guys look them up online and fill out your free quote today. The rainy season is coming up, and you're going to want to sit down comfortably on your chairs with a reliable roof at the top of your head. Why not? Guys, it works perfectly, and Fleming Roofing and Restoration will get you guys set up. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Look them up. Do it. I'm not asking. I'm suggesting. Either way, we got a lot of fun stuff to hop into. We're going to talk a little bit of bracket talk. We're going to talk about where the Fairleigh Dickinson coach went because, their Cinderella stories ended, and it's gotten even worse for that school. But you know what? It's totally fine because they got a nice little win over one of the best teams in the country. So, and also we're going to look into where Cam Newton might potentially land in the future with the NFL. That's all coming up on What's Cool.
It's getting hot in here.
That's a spicy
meatball.
So it's time to cool down with Captain Cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know what cool is?
What?
You're looking at it.
I know. Either way, like we were saying, I want to get into this the Fairleigh Dickinson story, okay? Nothing beats me. Thank you for letting that ride a little bit. So, this team comes out of nowhere and is able to upset Purdue. 63-58. Oh, it's still going. I've never heard it this far in. It's kind of distracting at this point. They go on to lose.
We got 15 seconds on it.
To Florida Atlantic, 78-70, which was still a close game. Okay, this Florida Atlantic team may, be speculated as one of the worst teams left in the brackets. But still, they were able to beat a good Memphis team and then go on to beat the team that beat Purdue in the first place. Now, I don't know if they would have been able to, if FAU would have been able to beat Purdue. Okay, somebody had to get their hands dirty and beat one of the better teams. So, that's what Fairleigh Dickinson does. But now we're looking forward, and, it came to an abrupt end. Their Cinderella story has come to an abrupt end, okay, this past weekend. And now, turns out, Tobin Anderson, coach of this wonderful Knights team, is already on his way. After only 1 year with this squad, he was able to bring them to a wonderful, wonderful March Madness year. And even though they only got past the first round, that first round probably felt like the entire thing to them.
Yeah, you knocked out a 1 seed.
Yeah, that does not happen. Okay.
How many other teams can say that in the tournament?
Like two or three other teams can say that. Okay, 2 16 seeded teams can say that. Okay. But, his coaching was really, it was on, it was on display there, okay? We got to see amazing defensive pressure, and we got to see, great offensive play, and that's why we saw this win against a spectacular team when it comes to the defense and the offense. They've got, scorers on both sides. They're able to do everything they do to really just hold teams to nothing, okay? Yeah. It's what they've been doing all season. Did I think they were going to be the first number 1 seed out? No. I thought Houston would take that. Now there's 2 out. Kansas and Purdue. We'll talk more about them later. But now we need to know where Tobin Anderson is going for his future. Because, he didn't just, leave for no reason, of course.
Yeah.
He didn't. He couldn't do that.
No.
He's actually going to be the next head coach of Iona, another team.
Taking Rick Pitino's empty spot.
Exactly. Pitino, he's like, I got to go, coach these guys at St. John, so see ya. And now we have, I would say a fairly new coach coming in. I know he's 51 years old, but he coached with this team, and now it's actually really paying off that he won this Purdue game because now he's getting these better jobs. He's on a 5-year deal at Iona, and he's replacing a pretty good coach in Rick Pitino, and good things for both. Rick Pitino's moving on, and Anderson's moving on. Both of them are kind of growing in their careers as coaches. And, maybe in a few years, give him 5 years. Okay, he's on contract for 5 years. Give him those years, a little bit more learning. This guy might be coaching in, say, the Big 12.
Yeah.
The SEC.
This isn't a bad coach by any means. Tobin Anderson, he's been coaching since 1996.
Man, he's 51.
And one of the main coaching stints that he had, or head coaching jobs, was a very common team in everyone's brackets, St. Thomas Aquinas or Aquinas?
What?
Aquinas?
Huh?
I never figured out how to pronounce that last part.
Never heard of it.
But they would kind of commonly be in the NCAA tournament, and he's got a very good win record. I mean, 414 wins, 206 losses. Like he's got a pretty solid win rate.
Maybe he could make it. Maybe he could make it onto a team that I actually know.
Well, I mean, he's going to Iona.
I didn't know Iona before this whole bracket. All right, I don't know. Like a lot of these smaller schools, I follow the college football world mostly. Okay, so I get acquainted to those teams. All right. Yeah. College basketball is a little weird, all right? It shakes things up. There's teams that you've never heard of in certain conferences, and then there's also, there's a lot of winning at play or at bay for a lot of these, schools that we don't hear of because they're not those football schools, okay?
Yeah.
They're the basketball schools. I don't know what Fairleigh Dickinson is, but I guess they're more of a basketball school because I've heard of them this first. Iona, same thing. But now he's going to Iona, and he's going to have a nice little time there for the next 5 years, and maybe he might, land a job in the SEC or one of those bigger conferences and really make a push for that beautiful Final Four.
And it looks like we got some unfortunate breaking news coming through.
What do we got,
during
Bandi?
the cool segment? NBA legend and Hall of Famer Willis Reed has passed away at the age of 80.
Wow.
As of broke 15 minutes ago.
That really did hit. Bandi, how you feeling about that one? I know you're the basketball guy.
I mean, obviously I never watched him play live.
No.
But you're talking about just a very common name when you bring up NBA legends of the past like Willis Reed, Wilt Chamberlain. You've got Michael. I would even put God, who is it for the Lakers? James Worthy. Again, a lot of the old names. Willis Reed was one of them. 7-time All-Star, 2-time NBA champ, 5-time All-NBA selection. I mean, he was drafted. Let's see. When was he drafted? 1964. Inducted to the Hall of Fame in 1982. And I kind of have. It's a little bit like a 2K memory because I would always pull him on NBA 2K with the Legends packs. I would always have a Willis Reed in my collection at some point.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, I don't know if it was how he played in real life because, again, as 2K goes on, it gets just more and more unrealistic. But, I mean, he was a machine on the rebounds.
There you go.
It's like there were very few other players in the game at that point that were out rebounding Willis Reed except for maybe like Kareem or something.
Pretty cool.
Like you could stick him at the 4 spot, and you could not go wrong.
There you go.
So, I mean,
rest in peace to a great.
Rest in peace to an NBA legend.
Yeah, I think it's cool though. Like video games, even though we don't know about some of these legends and stuff, playing the video games, they do introduce us to a lot of these guys. I mean, I don't know if I would have known who Gretzky was in the NHL if I didn't play the video games that he came out with back in the day. I probably would have still known him because, everybody likes to rock a NHL jersey that says Gretzky on the back, okay? But either way, we're going to move on from that, okay? Again, rest in peace to an NBA legend. But I want to kind of look at Cam Newton's potential landing spots now, all right? There's a few teams. Now, if Cam Newton's even able to play in the NFL, I have no idea. I absolutely have no idea if he's still going to be able to play. I think that he is probably, still up to, standard at least. He's only 33 years old. He's getting up there when it comes to, maybe being the scrambling quarterback he wants to be. But, I mean, the guy's still got the size. He still probably has the talent to throw the ball. But there's a few teams that might come up more than others that he might be on in the future. And I'm not even going to say the Panthers aren't even on this, okay? This is coming from CBS Sports. The Packers are the first one that he might go to.
Okay.
We all know that Jordan Love, very young quarterback, is going to be taking the helm as the starter for that team.
Yeah.
He's going to be taking over for Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is going to be, he's going to be in the Jets, of course.
Yeah.
We always talked about that. We keep talking about that. We love to see it, all right? But if Jordan Love outperforms or overperforms over Cam Newton, do you see Cam Newton wanting to play anymore? I mean, if this 24-year-old is able to just, show him out really quick right there, right then, do you think Cam Newton would even want to play anymore? Or is he just going to go on and do, what, some of those NFL players that want to be in the league, Johnny Manziel, but can't make it to the league again, Colin Kaepernick, and have to do something else like create a brand around yourself. You thought I had another one?
I thought you had another one. I was waiting.
I got to think a little harder for that one.
You're right with the first one. Okay, but no. But I'm going to answer your question with a question. Could you potentially see Cam Newton, again, if he loses out to Jordan Love?
Yeah, Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. Could you see him going to the XFL?
This is Bandy's question. It's always, well, if you can't make it in the NFL.
Just look, that just seems like the natural step below to go. If you're looking to play like professional style football.
Yeah.
I'm using professional style loosely with the XFL. If you're looking to play that kind of football and you can't make it in the NFL and you still want to play ball, like you're adamant and hell bent on playing ball, isn't the XFL just like the natural way to go if you just can't make it in the NFL anymore?
It's tough to tell, okay, because it used to be whenever a player can't make it in the NFL, they go to the Canadian Football League,
Yeah.
Which I believe they make more than, people over in, the XFL, because I don't think the XFL makes that much. All right. So I'll say that Cam Newton, I don't think he wants to stoop down to the level of the XFL. I think he's just going to be an NFL quarterback. That is what he wants. It's the same with Colin Kaepernick. It's the same with Johnny Manziel. Well, Johnny Manziel probably couldn't even make it on an XFL team at this point.
I can't even tell what Kaepernick wants at this point.
I don't even know if he's still, interested in football in the first place. I haven't heard about him in a long time, except for the last time I heard about him, they were bringing him into Madden for no reason at all.
It's the last time I heard it was like he wants to come back, and then it's like, oh, he's not coming back. It's like, well, do you want to go out and shoot a highlight tape again? It's like, well, there's no news from that. It's like, just make up your mind. Do you want to be back in the NFL or not?
I don't think he's coming back. The other one I could come up with is Antonio Brown. Create a brand around yourself.
He's just done.
He's just done. He's not coming back to the NFL. But we could see Cam Newton go to the XFL, but I just don't see it happen. I see a Baker Mayfield possibly going down, but again, those egos get in the way. When you're at the top of your game in the NFL, even though you're not performing, perfectly, you still don't want to be, lumped into the XFL. Okay, that is for people who are trying to prove themselves when these guys already think they're proven. Okay. Cam Newton's made it to that Super Bowl. He doesn't feel like he needs to do too much more. He thinks he's already better than the other 32 quarterbacks in this league, which I don't know. Nobody knows. We haven't seen the guy play in a few years.
According to you. According to you.
Yeah, according to me. Number 5 would be the Lions. If you hopped onto the Lions squad. Now I'm gonna have to pull up my book real quick, okay? Because we've been talking about which people are in which squads now because of all the trades that have been going down.
Yeah. It's like, you want to get me away from being a Lions fan real quick. First, you have Jamal Williams isn't going to be there anymore, and now Cam Newton's thinking about going there. Well, that's the final nail in the coffin.
I don't even know who the Lions have as a quarterback right now. Okay, let me check this. Okay. Do the Lions still have Jared Goff? Do they still have... Yeah, they're dude. Okay, so it's Jared Goff who's still leading this team. The Lions could be a team that Cam Newton goes to. I think he has a potential, chance of maybe beating out Jared Goff. Jared Goff still, he's kind of under contract, so he's got a few more years to play there. But at the same time, Cam Newton could come in, be a little backup quarterback to Jared Goff, and then when Jared Goff's out of there, that's a possibility. But then there's also the possibility that they decide to pursue a better talent in the form of Lamar Jackson. Okay? Obviously, you'd have to throw out a little bit more money, but I'd be a little bit more comfortable sitting with a Lamar Jackson in the QB room instead of a Cam Newton that I feel like, hasn't talked football in the last few years.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Number 4 would be the Chiefs. He'd be backing up Patrick Mahomes. Just have him as a backup.
He would just... I feel like you'd just be burning a hole in your pocket with what you're paying him.
I don't know if they would be paying him that much. That's the thing. backups make a lot of money. I think...
Well, yeah, but I feel like you never really get any use out of them. Like, you just be kind of happy...
Just in case?
Well, yeah, just in case. But if you want to have someone there, like, just in case, like, your star guy goes down, which Patrick Mahomes... besides, like, the thing he had with his ankle, is not very... prone to going down.
I will admit that Patrick Mahomes does not go down too much.
He's a durable dude.
But there are times under pressure in big scenarios, the Patrick Mahomes has gone down and Chad Henne's had to come in. And now that he's retired, you might want another guy who can come in and probably perform, around the level of a Patrick Mahomes.
Now, if you pay him the same stuff that you would, again, what was his name?
Chad Henne.
Chad Henne. Now, if you're going to be trying to pay Cam Newton the same thing you're paying Chad Henne, do you think Newton would want that kind of contract, or he would even accept it?
Let me see.
Or do you think he'd be worth more than that?
Let me see Chad Henne's contract that he had, okay? Because he re-signed with the Chiefs for 1 year on a $2 million contract.
Yeah.
Cam Newton wouldn't want to do a $2 million contract.
No.
I think you'd have to pay him at least around what Singletary's making right now with the Texans, okay? Around $3.7 million. You'd have to be paying him at least that.
Yeah.
I know it's very specific, but still.
Yeah, because the Chiefs have like a very structured system. Like they've got it's very effective.
Mm-hmm.
It's built all around Mahomes, but now that they've been together for so long, again, they just
do.
Yeah,
they just do.
Like they just click as they just work as a unit.
Yeah, they really do.
You don't need like a big name backup or a big name backup to that system.
No.
You need a Chad Henne.
You really do need the guy that can just kind of perform at the level he needs to. Whereas Cam Newton is the guy that would want to, overperform and something stupid happens. What he did at Patriots, he wasn't able to do what he was saying that he wanted to do. The third team is the Ravens. With, Lamar Jackson, he's kind of under the team's control right now. Okay?
Yeah, focus on Lamar first.
The Ravens need to focus on him because bringing in Cam Newton, if you bring in him, that's going to be a lot of distraction going into your QB room, and you're going to kind of start focusing on him more, and then Lamar Jackson's going to want to leave.
Yeah, I about to say I think it might be bigger than that. I think if they bring in another quarterback while he's still there and they haven't finished negotiations, that'd be the final straw for Lamar. I'd be like, all right, so we can't resolve my thing. Your star player, the one you just put a temporary tag on. But you just brought in an withered quarterback.
A withered quarterback that says he's better than 33 or 32 of the other quarterbacks.
That says he's better than me?
He ain't better than me.
I'm out of here.
They do need a backup, though. Okay?
I'm going to the Colts where they respect me.
The Ravens will need a backup, though. Okay, so I hope they're not going to think that or Lamar Jackson's not going to think that with every quarterback that they pick up. But a Cam Newton is a big name coming into your organization, and he is going to take a lot of that the pressure that is going on the whole Lamar Jackson situation and kind of turn it into the Cam Newton. Oh, Cam Newton's on the Ravens now. Because Tyler Huntley, he's about to be gone because he's a free agent right now. Anybody could pick him up at any moment.
Yeah. Hey, there you go for the Chiefs.
There you go, Chiefs. Pick up him.
Yeah, pick up Tyler Huntley.
He'd work perfectly with that organization. Number 2 is the Titans. I could see this fitting. I like this. I think Cam Newton would look dope in a Titans uniform. Even though, say what you will about the Titans' new gear. I prefer the old gear, but their new stuff would probably look good on one Mr. Cam Newton. And you know what? With Ryan Tannehill being a question, with Derrick Henry being a question, you need a big name coming into your organization. And you know what? It'd get me out to a Titans game to see Cam Newton play. I would get out there because I want to see that stuff in real life. The dab, all of that stuff was created by this one influential man. I'm never going to forget it. Man is a living legend.
Think about that.
The dab.
Think about how old we are. Cam Newton invented the dab, and think of how far back that was.
It is crazy to believe. It's like 2011, dude. That's when he came into the league.
12 years ago, yeah.
Sheesh. Bandy, we're growing up.
Yup.
Titans also have Malik Willis. So, if you try and change your offense to a more running style, quarterback, then that would fit well. Because then you got 2 of them. You got Cam Newton and you got Malik Willis. Ryan Tannehill ain't going to run. Last time he ran was way back in college, all right? He was a wide receiver. He's done with that stuff. And if you lose Derrick Henry again, you're going to need a big name to kind of get the fans out. And you know what? Cam Newton would do it. I think that's a good one. And then the Raiders are number 1. I don't think this is going to happen. Jimmy G is a totally different type of quarterback, and they could shake it up a little bit by bringing in a Cam Newton. But you know what? That offense has never been a running style quarterback. Okay, who is it that they used to have? Oh, he was an Ohio State quarterback. Oh, it's on the edge of my.
C.J. Stroud?
No. Dang it, Bandy! I'm gonna have to tell you guys at the next segment. I'm gonna take it to a break. Either way, we're gonna figure that out, and then we're gonna get into more of the fun because next hour we're gonna get into a lot more of the bracket talk, and we're gonna try and re-guess the Sweet 16 to see if we can maybe get that right because God knows we didn't get the other one right. We're gonna hop to a break though, guys. Don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called. You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today. Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on 2 services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
The Blitz has been called.
Hooked on the feeling. It was Terrell Pryor.
You're thinking Terrell Pryor?
Yeah. Quarterback turned wide receiver, whatever you want to make of it. I mean, he was everything. He also played for the Cleveland Browns. He was actually pretty good.
Where is he now?
I don't know. I think the last team he was on was like the Jaguars or something like that. They were just trying to find, somebody at that point in their career.
How did you have Dante Hightower retiring?
Yeah, that's crazy. Dante Hightower, he's out. He's done for. He's gone. I mean, congrats on a good career, I guess. But
I remember watching him as a kid going to the Alabama games and all the way up in the stands.
So cool. I remember whenever he got drafted, and then I remember that the Patriots were slowly turning into like the Crimson Tide of the NFL because they had so many Alabama players on their team, and I mean they're still doing it today.
Oh, I love. It's kind of like Well, I don't know. Would you call it the other way around? Like Alabama turned to the Patriots of college football?
I think, you know what, they share some similarities, mostly because they were, they're both their head coaches were on the same staff back in the 90s. I mean, both of them. I mean, we're talking about, the 1994 Cleveland Browns right now. That's what we're talking about, Bandi.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're going to share a little bit of similarities, but either way, we got some fun stuff to get into in the second hour of today's episode of the Afternoon Blitz. Me and the Bandi Man are going to try and, recap some stuff, redo some stuff in this tournament challenge that we got going down. If you guys are in, it's the 97.7 ESPN The Zone bracket challenge.
Call and let us know, 256-576-4977. Phone lines are wide open the rest of the second hour. So call and tell us how you're doing in the bracket challenge as well.
Yeah.
Presented by Talent Heating and Air.
And if you guys have any expert picks you want to throw in, definitely do so. But we're going to try and predict the rest of it. And if you guys are trying to do that little $25,000 challenge, I don't know, you can redo your bracket in the Sweet 16. So, we're going to try and help you guys out with that one. Either way, a lot of fun to come in the second hour. Don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Guys, when we were 20, we never had to worry about spontaneity. And now that we've gotten older, spontaneity has been replaced with pills and injections. We're just trying to keep that intimacy, but it's taken away from spontaneity. At Advanced Life Clinic, we now offer GainsWave, which uses sound waves to non-invasively treat this issue with no need for pills or injections. Just give us a call, 256-888-9367, or check us out online, advancedlifeclinic.com.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
The Blitz has been called. The Blitz has been called. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Afternoon Blitz here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network. I'm the Bandyman Bailey Lowry, joined across the glass by Captain Cool John Abraham.
Hey, Benny, you gotta not rush me, man. We know. I mean, Paul gets on his show, and it takes like 10 minutes for him to finally start talking.
Look, we got invested in talking about stuff during the break.
It's business
You know what I mean?
stuff, you know.
Business. We're talking
stuff.
business.
We gotta talk some business. It's like some Jordan Belfort out here.
I'm in full chant.
Either way, we got a lot of fun to get into in
I
this
remember the questions he was asking.
second hour here in No Man's Land. Like real quick though with the podcast side of things, because I like to bring in a little bit of that podcast talk, because technically, you know, we're online, we talk, we do whatever we want. Because, I mean, that's what this show's supposed to be about, you know. We're just, you know, two 20-something-year-olds talking about everything. I want to get to the point where we literally have those types of Wolf of Wall Street meetings in this studio, okay? We literally, like, somebody's standing up on this table, everybody's right here, this place is packed with a bunch of employees, and we're just telling them, like, yeah, this one's going to happen, this one's going to happen. We sell everything out, and then we're instantly just having the time of our lives here.
Okay, look, sell me this pen.
Okay. Let me see.
As I answer this phone call.
You gotta give it to me. Either way, guys, this hour is presented by Woody Anderson for the best place to get the best vehicles for the best prices. You can drive home in a brand new 2023 Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you. Bobby White and his crew will take care of you guys. So find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com, and you can also find us online on the Twitter sphere at the Blitz_sports. Insurance called us. I hate when that happens. We don't need any insurance here.
That's like, look, I appreciate you're a representative of an insurance group trying to help me out, but we don't need it.
You'd be like, you should have been like, let me counter this. You want to advertise on our station? Then they can get on to more people.
Look, maybe I don't need it, but
yeah,
your method could be a little better.
Yeah, we're not gonna name drop them though, because that's not what's happening here. Either way, let's get into some of this bracket talk, okay? The last time we talk about bracket, until the actual games start happening again, I believe on the 23rd. Is it? Yeah, the 23rd and the 24th is when these games are going to be going down for the Sweet 16. Bandy, we're going to start off with the 23rd. First game's up, all right? Let's go into a little bit of depth with these, all right? FAU versus Tennessee. Bandy, we got ourselves one heck of a game in this one, all right? Now, we didn't think FAU would make it this far. We didn't think Tennessee would make it this far. But now they are here, and you know what? Both of these squads are looking pretty nice. I mean, if you guys are dogging Florida Atlantic, which I know a lot of people are, these guys are 33-3 on the season, all right? They have a right to be here at this point in the bracket, all right? Fairleigh Dickinson had to beat Purdue, and Purdue, you know, could have possibly won a game against the FAU team, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, but I will admit, I'm kind of on the Tennessee train with this one.
Okay.
Because the way I see it, they did pull off the major upset against Purdue in the first round, but going into the second, they quickly lost steam and lost to FAU.
Okay.
I don't think this is an FAU team that is going to be up to caliber with Tennessee.
You don't think so?
No.
I mean, they've surprised us.
They have a good record. FAU does, but again, it's the same argument you bring toward Houston.
Yeah.
Look at the conference.
It is true. That is true. All right. I'm not going to dog you there. All right, because I will agree. But this conference could arguably be a little bit better than what Houston's going up against. Because Memphis is a good team. Okay. UAB is a good team. MTSU, they've been to the tournament. They've been pretty far. This is another team that they've beaten handily. Okay. But now we're looking at it in this way. FAU's going up against a Tennessee team who probably shouldn't have gotten this far, but now they've beaten a Duke team. I think that Tennessee does have a really good chance of winning. I think, safe bet, obviously, I'm going to go with Tennessee. But FAU, again, can't sleep on them. They will come out and they will still perform. but Tennessee is the team that will win this game, okay? And it's going to be crazy to see this because the SEC is still going to be rocking and rolling going into the Elite Eight with at least 2 teams making it, at least.
Because I will say, like, even though that FAU had thought, actually they had an easier path here than Tennessee did. I mean, they did play Memphis. I mean, you could say that was honestly a coin flip.
That was a very big coin flip.
And it came down to pretty much a coin flip.
Yeah.
Winning by 1 and then playing a 16 seed in the second round, kind of cruising by them and into the Sweet 16. Tennessee playing UL Monroe. It's kind of scraped by them a little bit, only winning by 3, 58-55.
A spooky game.
But then demolishing Duke.
I don't understand that. A hot Duke team against the Tennessee team who has that doesn't have their best player.
Yeah, they, again, also doesn't have their best player. Cruised past this Duke team. I imagine they're going to do the same thing to, in my opinion, a worse FAU team.
Hey, you wouldn't be wrong there, okay? But again, Florida Atlantic right now is on a 9-game win streak. Tennessee's on a 2-game win streak. They've won their last 2 games, okay?
As they should.
Those have been in the tournament, okay?
They are in a single elimination tournament.
But before that, they lost to a Missouri team who, is just now out, to a Princeton team. And then the last time they lost was to an Auburn team who's also not in this anymore.
Yeah, but losing to the number 1 seed.
This is what makes it the madness, okay? This is what makes the madness of March Madness, okay? Because teams like this still have a chance to push pretty far into all of this jazz, okay? I think Tennessee's going to get the win here, and then they're going to go up against the winner of the Kansas State versus Michigan State team. And Bandi, did you see how Michigan State played? Because Michigan State's not a bad team.
They are not a bad team at all.
This game, if you could say that, any of the other ones are a coin flip, this one literally is a 50-50 coin flip. Even on ESPN, their bracket right now, it's saying that there's a 50.3% chance that KSU is going to beat Michigan State.
Yeah, I mean, these are very 2 well-matched-up teams. And, again, we've dealt with Alec Bussey throughout the regular season, who covers Kansas State. And it's kind of really given me almost like a little bit more of a fanship toward him. I really like watching this team. But again, Michigan State's also very, very good as well, taking down a very hot Marquette team in the round of 32.
Yeah.
This is a hot Michigan State team going into this matchup. Kansas State coming off their win against Kentucky, also feeling hot. So I'm kind of with the ESPN on this one. This is really like a 50-50 kind of shot.
Yeah.
But my gut's telling me go with the purple.
Yeah.
Go with Kansas State.
If KSU can kind of just totally take out Tyson Walker out of this whole game plan, okay, which is arguably the best scorer on their team, and Keontae Johnson can have a spectacular game, which he has been having, then I think that KSU is going to be fine. But again, if you just look at this one right off the bat, it is very similar in the matchup. And I mean, KSU also scores more points during their games. They average more scoring, okay?
Yeah.
Which is, it's, obviously that's kind of going to be the case because, I mean, Michigan State, they go up against some hard opponents. But, I mean, when it comes to Kansas State, they've been going up against the Big 12 this entire season long. And being able to be one of the last teams to make it to this point in their conference, it really shows that, hey, there may have been a lot of, highly competitive teams throughout the season, but this is where the best team shows. And I think KSU is going to continue this way, and I think they're going to beat the Michigan State Spartans, and I think we're going to be able to talk to Alec Bussey once more about how amazing this team is and how far they are going to go in this bracket. Okay? Very much.
Do you want to go to the other kind of close-seated matchup on the other side of the bracket?
Which one do you want to talk about?
Gonzaga, UCLA.
Perfect. Sounds great by me.
Because, I mean, you kind of see it on paper, and again, you see the 2-3 seed matchup and think it might be a little bit of a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think this is more in UCLA's favor than anything. I mean, Jamie Jacquez Jr. has been having himself a heck of a tournament.
Yeah.
And he's averaging 17.5 right now, leading the team in rebounds at averaging 8 a game. And then also Tiger Campbell on the other side just creating so many shot opportunities for his squad. I mean, UCLA is playing very hot right now.
They are, and I mean, don't let the last game against Northwestern fool you, okay?
Yeah, don't at all.
It was a very close game, but Northwestern's a very good team. The game before that, okay, the team didn't even stand a chance. I don't even know who it was, but they did not stand a chance. 86-53 was the score. Who was this? UNCA?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Asheville. Okay.
Yeah, UNC Asheville.
They still made it to the tournament.
Yeah, and then Boise State also on the other side for Northwestern.
Yeah, Boise State I thought was going to win that game. And Northwestern was, they came out very hot and then they dropped one to UCLA, but it's still, okay. Gonzaga's a good team, but I don't think they've got the offense. They got the offense. I don't think they have the defense to really be able to hold up against this UCLA team because they are hot on offense. Like you were saying, okay, Jaquez Jr., all right, I mean, this kid, he knows how to ball out, and he's going to do so.
On top of that, I mean, they're coming off a very close matchup against TCU. I mean, Gonzaga pulled it out 84-81. But the thing is, UCLA plays, I think, in a very similar way to TCU, but they just do it better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got that kind of outcome coming from the TCU matchup. I mean, now you're going up against a team who kind of roughly does the same kind of game plan and moves the ball the same kind of way, but just does it on a much better scale.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how Gonzaga is going to handle it.
Yeah, I think UCLA's got this victory right now. So we got Tennessee. We got on the east side, we got Kansas State going forward. They're going to meet up in the Elite Eight, and then we're going to have UCLA against Arkansas or UConn.
Yeah, I've got Tennessee, Kansas State, UCLA, UConn.
Okay,
UConn's another UCLA. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
It's totally fine. They're going up against Arkansas. All right, a team that we didn't think would get this far, but now there are 3 SEC teams still in this tournament. No. Will there be 3 more after? I don't think so. I think Arkansas is the weak link in this squad, and I think Tennessee and Alabama are going to move forward while Arkansas kind of gets held back because they have to go up against a really good Connecticut team. I mean, if we look at them, it is just ridiculous how good this UConn team is because they've been able to beat, in their last 3 games, they've been able to almost beat Marquette. They beat Providence. They beat Villanova. And then they beat Iona 87-63. And then they absolutely destroyed St. Mary's 70-55. This team's not going to slow down. They're going to keep hitting hard, and they are going to keep scoring points, and this team is going to win this game against Arkansas. And I know I told myself not to bet against the SEC because the SEC is where I need to just put all my money because these guys are elite now. But UConn is going to get the dub in this one because I have them going to the national championship against Alabama. Bandi, which one do you want to go to next? We got the Midwest and we got the South.
I mean, do we just want to go ahead and knock Creighton Princeton out of the way?
We'll knock out the South. Yeah, okay. I think Creighton's going to win. I think Princeton's been doing a great job, but I think it's tough to go up against 3 opponents and get the upper hand every single time.
I think it is too. I mean, again, very impressive what Princeton has done. I mean, they took the path that I had Arizona taking in my bracket.
Yeah, same.
But they beat Arizona. They then went on to beat Missouri. I mean, they convincingly beat Missouri as well by 15.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Do I see Creighton falling to Princeton? I don't think so.
There's got to be a chance, though. I mean, there's got to be a chance.
I mean, there's always a chance. But, I mean, they had a good game against NC State, winning by 9. But they had a pretty convincing win themselves against a higher seed and a tougher opponent in Baylor on their side of the bracket as well.
It's really hard to also just gauge where this Princeton team can go because all of the teams that they play are in the Ivy League, all right?
Yeah.
That's all they've been playing this season.
Is it a bigger feat because, again, we don't really know the scale of this team and just it's a 15 seed knocking out all these higher seeded teams. It's a lot more impressive than what Creighton has done overall. But at the same time, Creighton has pulled off an upset of their own, and I don't think they're going to be on the receiving end of one themselves. So I think Creighton takes this one. I'm going to say in the single digits, though. I still think Princeton, with how well they've been playing, though, makes it a fight. But I still see Creighton going out on top.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to be sweating a little bit, but at the end of the day, just know that our word is going to be correct. Creighton's going to move on and go up against Alabama because Alabama against San Diego State may be a sexy-looking matchup, but I don't like the way Alabama is just. I mean,
Brandon Miller's dropping 30,
73-51 against Maryland. Okay, 96 to 75 against Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Javon Quinterly is going to have a double-double with 13 assists.
I mean, Bailey's saying it. That means it's going to be happening. Okay,
yep.
Alabama has just looked amazing in this tournament, and they're going to continue to look amazing, and they're not going to let a San Diego State stop them. even though I think it'll be a better competition than either of the last two, Alabama is going to do something bizarre yet again, and they're going to move on to the Elite Eight and go up against a really good Creighton team. Now, on the other side, in the Midwest, Houston versus Miami.
I feel like I already know how you feel about this one.
I already know. This one's finally going to be a little bit of a toss-up, okay? This one's going to be an upset. Miami's going to get the dub in this one. I have gotten this region knocked to it. Like, I know this region now, all right? Bandi, I called it. I got Houston and Miami in this game, and I got Texas and Xavier in the other one. This is the side of the bracket that I know, all right?
Okay.
Miami is going to win against Houston. Mind my word. Bandi?
Now, who do you have? No, I mean, I've got Houston. I mean, they've been on a tear. They demolished Auburn. They ran through their second-round matchup. I think it's going to be the same case here with Miami.
I don't know, man. You're going up against a quick Miami team. Last quick team they played was Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky was able to hold them, all right? They were able to hold them up a little bit. Auburn, we've seen the cracks. Auburn's time is coming, all right? They were able to beat an Iowa team who is very big on defense but very slow at the end of the day, okay? I don't think Houston's going to be able to keep up with the speed of Miami, and I think Miami's going to get the upper hand, and I think they're going to go on to face off against the team who wins in the Xavier-Texas matchup, who I personally think is going to be Texas.
I do as well.
Yeah. It's going to be a really good one, though.
Pretty easy pick.
But I'm going to say, John's pick, Miami. Bandi's pick, Houston. Half of America and probably more, Houston. That's just not what's going to happen.
And I imagine you've got Texas beating Miami.
I got Texas beating Miami.
Well, I've got the same. Well, I've got the different thing. So I got Houston beating Texas. So we're going to see how that comes down.
That's when you mess it all up right there.
And then Alabama beating Creighton to make it to the Final Four.
Hey, it's not bad though. It's not bad.
So who's your Final Four with this new setup now? We've got the Sweet Six. We've got the Elite Eight. All that selected. We're now on to the Final Four. Who do you have?
So I got Alabama versus Creighton.
Okay.
And then I have Texas versus UConn still. Because I still have that one. It's set in stone, and it's going to happen. Okay?
Wait.
Oh, because this is on the other side. Because I had UConn beating Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, we're doing the Elite Eight or the Final Four?
Oh, sorry. We're doing the Elite Eight.
No, we're doing the Final Four.
Well, we're on the Final Four. I said Alabama versus Creighton.
That's the Elite Eight.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah, Alabama beating Creighton.
Okay.
Houston beating Texas.
I got Texas beating Miami.
Kansas State beating Tennessee.
Oh. You're going to say that. Okay.
UCLA over UConn.
That's the one we need to look at, okay? UConn is going to beat UCLA.
Yeah, I think UConn. Oh. Okay, so you're going opposite. Okay.
I'm going opposite on that side of the spectrum. We're confusing everybody.
Okay, no, you just like butting heads with me. All right, I see it.
So, hey, that makes for the most entertaining stuff right there, okay? Maybe not like the Shannon Sharp type of stuff, but still.
Yeah.
Look, UConn is going to the Final Four. UCLA, they have had a great season, and I think they're going to be pushed to the limits against Gonzaga, and then I think that's whenever they're going to show their cracks, going up against the UConn team who's not going to have as much of a hard time against an Arkansas team, and they're going to be able to kind of be fresh and just smoothly just take over against UCLA. Even though they have the longevity, I just don't see it happening, and I think the West is going to go to UConn. I think they're going to get the dub.
Now, see, I'm actually on the opposite end in that I see, because they're actually coming into an easier matchup, I think, than with Northwestern, because, again, Gonzaga struggled with this type of team just in the last round. UCLA just does the same type of game plan that TCU has, but just better.
I also had TCU going pretty far, though.
So if Gonzaga already struggled with that kind of team, I expect kind of the same thing to happen, but UCLA is going to be able to take advantage of it better. They're going to move on in the next round. They're still playing hard, riding that momentum, and they're going to beat UConn.
Sound argument. Moving over back to the East End. So we got a little bit of flip-flop. UCLA or UConn's going to go to the Final Four.
Yeah, and then Kansas State, Tennessee.
Kansas State, Tennessee.
Who do you have? I got Kansas State.
It would be ridiculous if Tennessee kept going. I don't know what I would be thinking if they kept going. I want Kansas State to win, but again, you can't bet against the SEC. But I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with the Kansas State Wildcats because,
Do you know how great that call would be? Between us and Alec Bussey?
Yeah. I mean.
An Alabama-Kansas State Final Four matchup?
No. Dude. That'd be nice. I mean, even the Tennessee-Kansas State one's going to be nice because I'm from Tennessee. and he's from Kansas.
Wait, didn't I actually bring that up with him the first time we actually talked?
Possibly.
And then what if Alabama and Kansas State meet March Madness?
That would be ridiculous, but it might actually happen because what's going down.
It's got a pretty solid chance. I mean, they got to make it past Michigan State.
So we'll say
and Tennessee.
So we'll say now, instead of what I picked was Marquette going all the way.
Yeah, same here. I'm with it, buddy.
It's going to be Alabama going up against Kansas State. That's what we're going to say. If it goes up against Tennessee, dude, that's going to be a really good game as well. But I think it's going to be Kansas State versus Alabama. We both think that. And then the other side is going to be, you say, Texas versus UCLA?
I say Houston versus UCLA.
See, I have Texas versus UConn. We got to meet in the middle somewhere.
No, we are not.
You got to give me a win.
No. We've got the Alabama side. We have the South. We have the South and we have the East locked in together. We're good on that. We are butting heads on the West and the Midwest.
Okay, the Midwest I've been correct on almost everything. You got to give me something.
That's going to be the tiebreaker. I gave you something. We got the South and the East.
Yeah, well, we all knew that the South was going to happen.
Okay.
And the East is literally Kansas State. You picked that one too.
But still, that's what makes it interesting.
But still, that's his argument.
But what you got for the championship? I've got Alabama, Houston.
Okay, well, I've got Alabama, UConn. All right.
What's your predicted score?
My predicted score is 73 to 68.
73-68.
Alabama's gonna win.
I'm saying 71-67 Alabama.
So, who do you guys think is more likely to be right? Alabama versus UConn, or Alabama versus Houston? That's the question you got to answer for us, because you know what? It was a very confusing segment. We were throwing around a bunch of different things. We thought we were going to be on the same track, but you know what? We're not. Bandi, by the way, is still leading me in the bracket challenge, so you might just take that into consideration. But 256-576-4977 if you want to hop in. But Bandi, it's about that time. It's about that time. We got to hop into a break. We got to get into the play-by-play with the Bandi Man, and we're going to learn a lot about video games in a little bit of time. So make sure you stick with us here on the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked the reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
The Stretch Zone, with 2 locations in the Tennessee Valley, will get you ready for whatever spring activities you have planned, from golf to tennis or just to increase your general activity. The Stretch Zone can get you limbered up to feel your best. Plus, you'll be taught the best stretches that you can do on your own in between visits to one of our 2 locations in Hampton Cove in Huntsville or on Balch Road in Madison. Visit StretchZone.com for more information. That's StretchZone.com, and be the best of you. Learn more at StretchZone.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seed, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop in the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
The Blitz has been called.
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sun rise.
Welcome back, everyone, to the afternoon Blitz here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network. I'm the Bandi Man Bailey Lowry, joined by Captain Cool John Abraham.
Yo.
And y'all know what time it is, but first, I'd like to remind you that this hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place
to get the best vehicles
for the best prices.
That's right. Drive home in a brand new 2023 Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you, including the F-150, the Maverick, and the always reliable Ranger. Head on down, talk with Bobby White and his crew, and they will take care of you guys. And you can find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
That's right. And you know what time it is. It's time for the E-Play-by-Play, all in on the video game news. This segment, we've talked about bracketology and March Madness, the NFL free agency, trade news, everything that's going on with Aaron Rodgers as well.
Yes.
Coming in from the realm of darkness and potentially going to the Jets.
He is going to the Jets. We got to wait.
We got to wait
because they're going to figure something out, but he is definitely going to the Jets, guys.
Yeah, but for now, we are only 3 days away from the remake of Resident Evil 4 coming out, and I am more than excited, as well as we have an official response from Microsoft regarding Sony's accusations of them potentially making a botched PlayStation version on purpose if they acquire Call of Duty.
Do it.
That's all coming up here on the E-Play-by-Play.
I'm just kidding. I don't want them to actually do that.
Time to catch up on esports with E-Play-by-Play with the Bandi Man.
Go ahead and scroll that down. I'll make my way over, but as we get into the first story. But yeah, we have an official response from Microsoft concerning these allegations. Now, Microsoft says that Sony has no reason to worry about an inferior version of Call of Duty launching ever on PlayStation consoles should the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard acquisition go through. In its latest submission to the UK Competition and Markets Authority, Microsoft responded to Sony's concerns that, again, the worst version of sorry, I'm starting on my words today.
Totally fine. It's a Tuesday, so it's like the Monday is the super high energy, and the Tuesday's kind of the week's settling in.
Yeah, again, it's like I was misplacing where the quote started. As Microsoft will be shipping Call of Duty on PlayStation in compliance with its Remedy commitments, Microsoft will have every incentive to develop games with optimized support for PS5 features, such as haptics and future consoles in order to maximize sales on the platform.
Heck yeah.
Elsewhere in the document, Microsoft also wrote about the length of its proposed 10-year deal to Sony, saying that Microsoft considers that a period of 10 years is sufficient for Sony as a leading publisher and console platform to develop alternatives to Call of Duty. I would say 10 years is pretty generous.
Exactly, yeah.
Now again, it's going to be very, very hard to create any kind of first-person shooter that's going to live up to the sales of COD. In fact, it's probably impossible.
Probably, but not, super impossible. I mean, Killzone was a humongous IP whenever that was on PlayStation, and they kind of just forgot about it because they thought, well, we got Call of Duty. Why don't we just focus more on this, have the exclusives? We're going to make plenty of money. And then they totally got rid of their exclusive first-person shooter that was Killzone that I personally loved, dude. I thought it was great.
Well, now's the perfect time to bring it back.
There you go.
I mean, you could do that. You could, again, the 10-year time span, given plenty of time to develop an alternative. I mean, Battlefield's about to be taken off of some platforms as well, like certain Battlefield games. 2042 was a disaster.
No, never got any better.
I mean, you could take your crack at something new, or again, just like you said, remaster Warzone. Like, how many Killzone games are there?
So I believe there's 3, and then there is a PS Vita game, and as well as some PSP stuff, and then there was one more in like 2013, and that was their final crack at it.
Yeah, Killzone Mercenary.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Oh, they actually had one called the Killzone Trilogy, like a remastered trilogy of the first 3 games that came out in 2012. I mean, you give it a fresh coat of paint, a brand new engine. I mean, you take another crack at Warzone, you got yourself a brand new title.
You keep saying Warzone.
Warzone.
You go back and forth from Warzone and Killzone. It's okay. It's understandable to get it a little bit distracted. But if they were able to bring back Killzone, I think they should bring it back in a way that's not like the original Killzone, okay?
Yeah.
I think that, having a multiplayer shooter first and then the campaign shooter second, that's one thing they should lead on. They should stop doing as much of the campaign side because that's really what made, the first few Killzones. I mean, the campaign was a huge thing. But, I mean, now if you're trying to find a rival to Call of Duty, then start building up on Killzone's multiplayer, and then you'll have a rival for both a Halo, Call of Duty, and any other first-person shooter. Because, again, Killzone was not a bad game whenever it was out back on the the PS3 and the Vita even. There were some good, solid first-person shooters. What did you make that face for?
No, the answer's been right in front of us the whole time, too. We just haven't realized it.
What?
There's one that's already been made.
What? Titanfall. Oh, Titanfall.
Remember how good Titanfall was when it came out?
Titanfall was a spectacular game. I believe it was an Xbox exclusive, actually, with Titanfall 1. It never came out on the PlayStation, but now, since it's on both...
They made Titanfall 2 as well.
And it was on both, yeah.
And you got Apex Legends being as big a hit as it is on both platforms as well.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you probably can't make like a direct sequel or like a Titanfall 3.
No. Not at this point.
As like a PlayStation exclusive. I don't think you can do it.
I think you could come back with Titanfall. I don't even think it needs to be an exclusive. That's another thing. I don't think they need to make it an exclusive. I think they just need to pay Respawn to create another, maybe, get somebody else to branch off, create another Titanfall game that is following the same movement style that you had in that game, and all of that stuff. Because that's what made it 10 times more fun than Halo 5 and, all the other games. Because nobody could recreate that movement. It was so buttery smooth, not even Call of Duty could do it with Battlefield Black Ops 3, because that's whenever they started doing the jump in and all that stuff without the advanced warfare grappling and all that crazy crap.
Yeah, but it's like you had the crazy crack movement of Warzone 1 combined with the jetpack movement of BO3.
Yeah.
And then you got Titanfall who created all of that.
They really did.
And what's weird is that they nailed it on the first try.
They did, yeah. That first game was so smooth, and the second one's just 10 times better.
But I think the exclusive is where Sony's headspace is at. Is that they feel like they need to make like an exclusive IP, like an exclusive internal project that can rival Call of Duty. When in reality, that's just probably not possible at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, they can prove me wrong.
I mean, PlayStation users, if they don't get, if they don't feel like they're getting the exact same experience with a Call of Duty game, and you give them an exclusive first-person shooter, All PlayStation users are going to hop on that, okay?
Yeah, but I guarantee you, though, within 10 years, I didn't mean to drop the cup, but I guarantee you within 10 years, Sony can at least, like, make something, if not, like, 3 or 4 different IPs that shows they're at least trying something different. Like, try to throw something out there and see what sticks.
It doesn't even need to be a first-person shooter.
Yeah, just, like, try to come up with, like, something, I guess. I mean, again, I'm not a game developer. I'm talking all this out of my butt. But, again, it just feels like try to come up with either a unique idea or, like, a unique spin on something and just craft and just get together a team that would be passionate about making said project.
Yeah. I mean, you look back at the history of all these first-person shooters and even, just exclusive, multiplayer shooter games. Xbox has always had Halo, all right? Nintendo, they just now have Splatoon.
And even then, Splatoon, I mean, that's a unique take on it.
Splatoon's a very unique take on it, and you know what? It's only on Nintendo, and you know what? It is one of the best-selling games ever.
Yeah.
It is.
Japan goes crazy over there
They
for
do.
Splatoon.
Sony being another Japanese company, what have they had that has been a massive first-person shooter that they came out with, or just a massive shooter multiplayer game that was a hit? Killzone was all they had, and it was more focused on a story instead of the actual multiplayer aspect of it. They've been just riding off of Call of Duty this entire time. Now this will actually give them incentive to create something that is unique, something that is special, and something that could bring in a lot of revenue. It's just, does PlayStation want to quit, complaining so much about this whole acquisition, or do they want to, get to drop the ball and giving us a good first-person or even third-person shooting experience for multiplayer?
Even now, it seems to be where a lot of their headspace is at when it comes to, game creating in general. It's just story first.
Which is not bad.
I was like, they make a lot of single-player game content. Yeah, like I said, which again isn't bad.
Freaking love it. But they can't monetize that. Not too much, at least.
Nah, I mean, it's tough to make a live service single-player game.
It's really tough. But people have done it before, guys. People do it.
Now, speaking of, I don't know if it's going to be live service or not, but Activision and Toys for Bob have announced that Crash Team Rumble will be released on June 20th. I mean, I'm the Bandi man. Anything that comes out Crash Bandicoot-related news, I got to cover.
All right, let's see what this game's got.
And there will be a closed beta for the game held from April 20th to 24th. You can pre-order the game today so that they'll get a chance to you have to pre-order the game to get a chance to participate in the closed beta.
Bandi, you going to be participating? You gotta. I mean, okay, so what type of game is this? Is this just like a MOBA version of Crash?
It doesn't look like a MOBA. It looks kind of like a arena,
an
arena platform fighter. I mean, I don't know.
I
really.
could.
Oh no. Maybe a MOBA.
I don't know. I mean, either would work. Okay.
Is it a band of MOBA?
It's a band of MOBA. I mean, if they did the arena, like 4v4 arena type style of game, I would totally play that. I mean, if there's unique things in it, it's like a party game you can just hop on and play. That's all. I'm all for that. It could even be like a Smash type of alternative instead of it being what is it? What do they call it? Platform fighter? It could be a 3D experience to where you could really just run around the map and do all this stuff, and then you can knock out each player on each team. But I mean, if they do this game right, because I don't want to play a MOBA. I want to play, if this is what it's supposed to be, I want to play pretty much just an arena game with the Crash Bandicoot characters.
That's kind of what it looks like, in that you get like different power-ups maybe, and that every character has like a unique abilities.
Yeah.
So maybe like a mix of both, and that but you have the same kind of movement that you would like in a typical Crash game. So
that's pretty cool, though.
You got me intrigued, I'm not going to lie.
It's got a lot of people intrigued, it turns out, because this it's got a lot of questions, and you know what? We'll only know until we, play the beta.
Exactly. And you know what? Now, from going on from Killzone to actual Warzone, so I'm not messing up the name this time, we've got a new licensed character coming to the game.
Who we got? Jigsaw.
I mean, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to tease it a little bit. Because I always kind of I always like really when games of any kind partner with another company to bring us a recognizable character we all know and love.
Fortnite.
Overwatch
has been doing it lately with One Punch Man. I love that.
That is true.
Bring in some more anime character skins, and I will gladly get that game again.
You start dropping One Piece skins in the game, I mean, I'll hop on it.
No. I'm not a One Piece guy.
I mean, you
just
drop
me.
a Nami skin for Mercy?
Nami? I know Nami.
But, kind of like I'm saying, and even with games like Dead by Daylight where you can, like, again, you have licensed killers and characters,
Yeah.
like, I want to survive games of Dead by Daylight and run the killer around as Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. I think that's awesome.
It's sweet.
I'm playing as Rebecca Chambers right now, too. I just love playing as all recognizable characters. You can play as the killers, too. I can play as Wesker or Nemesis from the games.
There you go.
Pinhead from Hellraiser. Michael Myers.
Who you calling Pinhead?
Who calling a Pinhead? I'm calling you one dirty Dan. But to get into who's actually coming, he's a cartoon villain.
Okay. Grim Reaper.
Most recognizable, I believe they aired on... Yes. Oh, no, they did. Okay, yeah, they aired on Nickelodeon.
Okay. From what years do you think?
I can't...
Was it good Nickelodeon or is it bad Nickelodeon?
Yes, it was good.
Okay.
It was good Nickelodeon.
Okay.
They've had a couple recognizable games. They appeared as a guest fighter in a NetherRealm title. Well, I wouldn't say like the character itself, but the franchise, like the character where the franchise is from, has been a guest character in Injustice.
So it's not going to be Crocker from the Fairly Godparents.
It's not going to be Crocker.
Okay.
I feel like hints are terrible. It's Shredder.
Oh, I was just about to say, is it from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Dang it!
It is, but yeah.
Dang.
We have a Shredder operator skin coming to Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 where you can play as a Shredder.
Sweet.
They dropped a trailer today. I gotta tell you, it looks pretty sweet.
Nice. I gotta take a look at his skin real quick.
I mean,
Shredder.
it do look pretty good. I mean, you got the like the blades and the claw and the arms and everything. For one, I don't know how Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is partnering with so many things lately.
We're going with the classic Shredder too.
It's classic Shredder.
This ain't no crazy being. This is just a normal Asian dude inside of a suit of armor.
Yeah, this is not Michael Bay Shredder. This is classic TMNT animated series Shredder.
Heck yeah. You could even say this is the TMNT live action movies that were absolutely wonderful, but they looked terrible. That's this type of Shredder.
Fair enough. Well, we got some unfortunate news in the gaming world. Online services for these games will cease in December, and they will be completely delisted. Oh no, I'm sorry. I got that order mixed up. They will be completely delisted in April, and their online services will be completely null and void in December of this year. A couple of DICE games, notable ones: Battlefield 1943, Mirror's Edge, and Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2. They will be delisted from all platforms on April 28th.
Dang.
Yep. Once their online features are removed as well on December 8th, they will no longer be playable online. But you'll still be able to play them offline at least. They wrote on a quote, "While these titles hold a special place in our heart, we're now looking forward to creating new memories alongside you as we shift our focus toward our current and future Battlefield experiences."
You can't take Bad Company 2 from us. Bad Company 2 is a classic, dude. And I see Chad. He's giving a thumb down. No, that game is amazing. I know you like that one. I know you don't like the new stuff.
Yeah, 2043 is trash.
Told you guys you get to see Chad.
But Bad
on
Company
WCCN.
2 and 1 are about to be delisted forever. You will not be able to buy them ever again, and then their online services stop in December.
There's a Master Chief collection for that, though. Should.
Yeah.
They haven't made me happy in a long time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I remember playing those it was like Battlefield 1942 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing that. Yep, good times. I was terrible at them both. But this might tell me, if they're selling 1943, Bad Company 1 and 2, they're being delisted. They could take the Halo route and release like a Bad Company collection and with a remaster pairing of like 1 and 2, and then like a World War II collection with 1942 and 43 remastered.
You would think they would already be on that.
I would hope so.
I mean, EA wants that money, and they know a lot of people would probably buy it, but they would probably also ruin those 2 games for us.
You think they would?
I think they would end up ruining them and, throwing in a buttload of microtransactions that weren't there originally because those games were before microtransactions. And people might not be happy with it, kind of similar to how people are still not happy with the remakes of San Andreas from Rockstar.
Well, I mean, so nothing new, right? I mean, EA putting microtransactions in games.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
The gameplay might be fun, though, if they don't do anything like Battlefront, because I didn't really like the new Battlefront stuff.
And what we've also got, first time I've talked about this game on the show, Marvel Midnight Suns news.
Cool.
We've got new DLC coming. His movie has been okay. You know what? I'll give you the hints for this one. You'll know this one.
Ant-Man.
No. His movie has been memed to all hell.
Green Lantern.
No.
When? Well, I mean,
it's a recent movie.
Okay.
It's been memed, released twice in theaters, and bombed both times.
Oh, Morbius.
Yes.
Yeah, that's from Sony. That's why it kind of threw me off, because it's a little bit of Marvel, but it's a little bit of Sony too.
Yeah, Dr. Morbius will be coming to Marvel's Midnight Suns. He'll be dropping in the game with a new campaign, with a new story event, new power-up location. You can use them in your party. All this stuff. And you fight against vampires. And it's spelled with a Y, like Pyres.
It's Morbin time.
As well as actually, this just dropped. Last of Us Part 1 official PC features trailer. Again, if you've never played Last of Us Part 1, play it. It is incredible. Or you know what? Watch the show. I've heard the show is fantastic. I mean, I've only caught, I think, 3 episodes so far.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, too.
It is very good. Oh, wow. Actually, wait. This is actually some really cool stuff they're adding. Wait a minute. They just kind of teased that, and it's coming out March 28th. Okay, wait a minute. That dropped a little more than I thought it would. I thought that was just going to be like, 4K, unlocked frame rate. Sweet deals. But no, there was actually like a lot more in that. Hold on. There was some like bonus modes, like game modes. And dang it, I can't reload the page.
Who's your guys' favorite Marvel superhero?
Okay, there we go. Hold on, I got it. Okay. So you got the trailer going on. Unlocked frame rate. Yeah, same thing.
Sweet.
I don't know what that means. I'm not a tech nut.
What was it?
AMD FSR2 support. I think that's for like graphics cards, I guess.
Okay.
That'd be my guess.
PC gamer.
Okay. Speedrun mode. Okay, like the name implies, they are just speeding past it, but there's now an in-game timer with labeled sections of the game in the top right for speedrunning the game.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that.
That's a great thing to add for any kind of single-player game.
Yeah.
Because like, these kind of story-based games, like, they have a pretty hefty speedrunning community.
Yeah, I mean, XO1, that game is made for speedrunning, and that was the first one that I saw actually as a timer that tells you, after you finish it, how long it took you to finish the campaign. So
that's cool.
That's pretty cool that they're just adding it to games that aren't really, for speedrunning, but they can still be, speed ran.
But now combine that with the other mode that they just announced for it, permadeath mode.
Uh-huh.
Pretty self-explanatory. You die once, it's game over. You got to go all the way back to the beginning.
We're going to see a lot of people having a great time with that on Twitch.
I'm currently having a fantastic time with it in Dead Space Remake. It's kind of like that's kind of a general thing that single-player games tend to be less stressful and like are more relaxing to play overall than multiplayer games. But there are some ones that provide challenges that are brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to take a time out. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show. So do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today. Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on 2 services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
The Blitz has been called.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Final segment here in the afternoon Blitz on a tipsy Tuesday in no man's land. Thank you guys very much for joining us, but we won't forget to tell you that this hour has been sponsored by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place.
You get the best vehicles.
For the best prices, that's right. You can drive home in a brand new 2023 Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you. So head on down, talk with Bobby White and his crew, and they will take care of you guys, no problem. Find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. Now,
I'm about to say, I got a cool story to wrap up the end of the show.
Okay, well, I got a pretty interesting story as well.
Okay, this will be quick.
Okay, quick.
There has been, if you've played Elden Ring, there's a legendary player among the community called Let Me Solo Her.
All right.
A player who is in nothing with no armor, a pot for a head, and it's just 1v1s for the hardest boss in the game to whoever summons him.
I've heard about the legend.
He is now playing and streaming it all live, by the way, a modded version of the game where every single enemy is Millennia, the hardest boss in the game. Every single enemy in the game is her. So, I mean, Let Me Solo Her. You now have to solo an army.
Jeez. Sounds like some fun.
I'm going to try to pop it in that stream if I can because I really want to see it happen.
Definitely do so. And I got some stories for the sports world. Lamar Jackson's representative reaches out to the team, telling them that the QB is ready to move on from the Ravens.
Oh!
Now, this isn't final, but this is also kind of big story because this has been a thing that's been going on for like 2 years now, all right? Reaching out and telling the team that the guy's ready to move on. Now we need to know where he might go if he leaves. If a team's able to throw him the money that he wants, because he wants at least in the neighborhood of $200 million on a multi-year contract. So this is something we got to delve into a little bit more of tomorrow here on the Afternoon Blitz. But for today, we'll leave it at that. Just think about it, guys. Lamar Jackson might not be a Raven next season.
He might not.
I mean, I know
Might be one of the Colts.
They put a franchise tag on him, but that doesn't always stop players from moving on. So, some interesting stuff to end off with, but I'm glad we got all the interesting stuff for you today. But it's time for us to head on out of here. Do the rest of what we got to do. Bandy's going to probably play some video games. I'm going to probably,
I got to hit the grocery store.
I'm going to probably watch some anime. Maybe hit the gym. I don't know. I still got to figure out my plans. But again, thank you guys very much. We'll be back in 22 hours to bring you all the sporting, all the gaming news here on the Afternoon Blitz. You guys